don't care what the neighbors say. Oh, I'm gonna love this long, lolling, languid conversion from NIMBY to YIMBY. Yes, in my backyard, it's the heart, soul, and spirit of New Orleans, chewing up rotary dial line 1, explaining about how Jackson Square gumbo gets spicier the further west it's delivered. Yes, cries the iconoclast, writing shotgun in ironic class. Yes, better dying through chemistry. People talking all around how this poetry thing's gonna be big, 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 I tell ya. You're all gonna blow up into these big genius stars. Any day now, the best of the best are gonna be offered positions by Target to staff their pop-up poetry installations in the wide mega aisles where they used to sell CDs and DVDs, right next to where there used to be life-size cardboard cutouts of Beyonce and Jay, 3/4 naked, rubbing all over each other, about to get it on. Oh, never you mind all that poetry thing, because the Fukushima Super Walmart just washed up on Stinson Beach, and you wouldn't believe the savings now. Over half off all self-generating holograms for skinny jeans, handlebar mustaches, and artisan label soda makers. Oh, thank you, Lord God Tsunami, for the bountiful harvest you've brought to our shores. You would not believe what Mama Earth has been trying to do to us. She is on the run, like the man said. She's on the lam, hiding out in every dark alley, hiding out on every wanted poster, hiding out underneath your bed, and damn if you weren't the one who let her in the first place. Wanting simply to immerse yourself in the shower of her psychic pheromone pollen. All that miasma now slips sliding across the great Pacific primordial pond, and when it makes landfall, we must all be sure to be there to greet it, and take it by the hand, and guide it ever so gently to the Ministry of Surrender, where there is already a long line of rock stars and porn stars waiting to apply, to sell out, or at least give up. More of the latter than the former. Still, their best years are behind them, and yet their legacy is larger and more ephemeral for a sideline mythology, and they don't stop. I don't really know if I can trust poetry, but I don't stop. It always feels to me like poetry's got one foot out the door, but she don't stop. And poetry and I have trust and commitment issues, but we don't stop. Never stop questioning. Never stop asking questions. Questions like, haven't you figured out that our children's school textbooks are thoroughly vetted by the National Security Agency? Questions like, has anyone explained to you that you're an angel who's just really, really high on carcinogens? Questions like, did you happen to notice the virus sitting above you in the food chain? Questions like, doesn't it seem like the other side of town or the other side of the bay is haunted, or at least very poorly lit? Questions like, did you keep track of every person you sexually objectified on your way here today? Questions like, when exactly was the last time you forgot to masturbate? Questions like, how is it that so many mad, ranting street prophets somehow magically evolve into the sage elders of what is left of civilization? And why is it that so many of our younger, brilliant underground poets invest so much of their valuable time crucifying all the older, somewhat less brilliant, above-board poets? Because there can't merely be cleverness. There can't merely be virtuosity for virtuosity's sake. There must be humor. And humor means, alas, that somebody is going to get hurt. There must be humor, or we will be dragging the corpse of academia around behind us forever. And perhaps that's why we persist in this game as business, of usual. What is the passing of each obscenely gorgeous moment but a continual interlude between the lyrical prelude where all any of us wish to do is break out our oh-so-tasteful galleries of agit porn? Don't get me wrong. I understand remembering our collective and individual high points on a timeline that points to a source we all came here to search for, an Easter egg hunt for common consciousness by poets who were the first rhetoricians, poets who were the first lawyers, poets who were the first tag artists, poets who were the first clergy in an Eden of our making. But if it is the sacred that you seek, then you must take the Hajj of your life into that big theater for hymnals and chants of the interior body. Because some of you poets out there don't know how to love your Lilith. even though she's there for all of us to be taught by, to learn from, to be mentored by. And don't you complain to me that she is a hard bitch. She is the medicine that you need, and I know this because I saw a father riding on the BART train with his baby girl cradled in his arms. And this father wanted to be loved so badly by all the young teen dreamers dolled up for Vanity Fair for the season. But the baby girl was squirming in his arms. She was breaking down his cool in front of the hotties, a man unbathed by his baby. And it's hardly the first time, and it surely won't be the last. And so this temple of public transit careens down the path of the secular hand left. No, some of you poets just don't know your Lil. You do not have to ball her to love her. Break it down like you mean it, brother, because isn't sex just another form of prayer that reminds us how close we lounge next to those lizards inside that big theater? And once we've got that all figured out, so what? There is still the obscenely gorgeous moment right here in front of your nose, still crying out for your attention, still crying out for your naming. And once you have engaged in this process of giving intention and naming, you're never going to be asked to stop. You're never going to be able to stop. You'll be falling in a gaping maw, lost in a wide open mouth, lost in a process of singing, smoking, sucking, licking, gnashing, eating, swallowing, breathing, all in search of a construct that may or may not belong to some kind of a god. Knowing this, do you still wish to be an important contributor to the decline of the West? That's great. Please do take a number and go stand again in that very, very long line over there, because it is work that will set the self-analyzing monkey free. In this elegy poet, seduce thyself, and know that the inner heaven cylinder is the place where we will all see through those constructs, because I tried so hard to be an atheist. I wanted so badly not to believe. But ever since dawnlight came to these Mojave Redlands, this is one exorcism that never ends. And language poetry, thy cup runneth over, and spills out into the greater Los Angeles basin with no regard for whom you drown along the way. And yet these survivors will be stronger in the end for this flood over the world stage where, alas, the great curtain does remain the great colonizer of context, beneath which, alas, the wizard is naked and horny and leering at Dorothy. But at least we can always be thankful for the United Auto Workers who remind us each and every day why it is that freaky Freddie Hagel and crazy Karl Marx keep hanging around like the true jazzmen they are, riffing the apocalypse fantastic from the edge of their felt pork pie specials, asking each and every one of us to crucify them each and every day so that some mad ranting street poet's prophecy might someday, somehow, come true. Woo! Thank you.
After this was built,
This is called The Accidental Imperialist. I'm onto you, shadow man, creeping through the archetypal funhouse portals of the subconscious. Yeah, one time too many, little too fast, yeah. I know who you work for, yeah, your boss. She ain't just a son of a bitch, she's a real bitch of a bitch, and takes her absurdity queer up, no chaser, on no less than 12 dialectical levels simultaneously, so you best watch out next time, creeper man. Mothman, I'm gonna run straight for you with my arms wider than the mansions you found me in, and the desert wash I found you in. Arms wide open to embrace, you will be faced with the prospect of being stuck for eternity with a needy, clingy poet on your shoulders who will never let go. And how does that make you feel, shapeshifter? Where will you go and what will you do? Pull up a chair, I hope, and sit down next to me with a spot of some perhaps powerful tea. And maybe we can work this all out if you would just please tell me all the stories about all the things you've seen on the other side of my galaxy, so that over time my words then become your words, allowing me to fashion them into any vehicle I fancy, in turn allowing this see-through barrel I hold over my head appear much easier to ride into the wormhole galleria, perpendicular to a snaking puffy cloud of sativa writhing its way down and across Franklin Street, all the way to Brooklyn Basin Cafe. But no, we skipped something. The past few years don't match up as well as we thought they might, and we're missing something, some bright misguided hope that seemed without end when our gritty-ass Brigadoon was still off the map and under the radar expedition ravings, where love seemed possible on that dim-lit stage, but it all got vercocked somewhere down the way, like everyone was always in love with the wrong person, just having a hard enough time getting to the hookup, until we finally got a convention of these beasts together, and Kwan and Maisha Z met and fell and are still falling and still going strong. And the truth is, if the rest of this world falls to shit But there are these two lovers still together. It will all have been worth every bit of it, because that is the kind of love that gives me more hope than I have a right to believe in. And if you'd only take a moment to look through these dazzled, beastly eyes, through the eyes of a conquered shadow man, then you would also love. And a lot of my fellow beasts were supposed to be here today, but didn't make it in. I think they're sad and depressed because Zarina Zabriskie declared their movement dead last night, and they haven't gotten over it.
Oh no!
But I came to terms with this long ago, and this is a poem about me coming to terms with that long ago. This is called "The Beast in Me." She's my baby, and I love her always. No, never could have drowned her, but she's a freak, you know, a mutant. She don't grow slow like the rest of us. No, she ages 1 year for every month. And so now she's 15, going on 30, and we're hanging out in the backyard, spending quality time together. And some things are just damned unnatural, like the scent of plum and cherry blossoms filling the air in the same backyard for 5 consecutive days in February. And being 15, going on 30, and having to let her grow up, and having to let her be a grown-up, and make grown-up mistakes. I worry that she's drinking or taking drugs with wild people, or maybe she's having unsafe sex with wild people, and maybe these are the same wild people I trusted to take care of her in the first place. And I know I'm just this sad old fuddy with the impending empty nest syndrome blues, and that even after all the growing pains and all the years, she will pretend I don't exist, or acknowledge that her father knows anything at all. There will eventually come epic reunions and celebrations between us. There will be those quiet moments of gratitude between us, and there will be love and remembering. But my beastie won't be my baby anymore. From the moment we were closest, we were always fading from each other, and the older we both get, the less and less we will know each other, until eventually there will come that inevitable day when we will look each other in the eyes and we won't know each other at all. Thank you so much.